All right, folks, welcome, welcome. It is here. It is finally here. It's about time. We are up, we are running, and we are live on the test center server for Marvel Heroes, where we are seeing the initial stages of these massive changes that they're going to be implementing over the next couple of months. Or I guess probably the next month, not couple of months. At least I hope. We'll see. But either way, I'm really excited to see it. We're going to jump right on into it because we got a lot going on. Now, you may notice that the walls are no longer see-through. That's something that they mentioned in the posts. Right now, we've got several important changes that are up. We've got the Infinity System testable. We've got the PowerPoint talent tree update done, and we also have the update to the movement. So in other words, we only have the charges for any movement ability regardless of what type it is and all that kind of stuff. So it should be interesting. We should have some fun. Now, for some reason, not surprisingly, Moobot is being stupid, so I'm trying to skip songs. It's not letting me. And look, Rev's here. No, don't worry, Rev. We're obviously going to go longer. Normally, I'd be stopping in like 10 minutes, but we're obviously not going to be doing that because we freaking can't, right? I'm so excited! So, mostly I'm excited because of the fact that Nightcrawler is one of about, I think it's 25 or 27 heroes that is on the test center with their changes. So there's Nightcrawler and Cable are the ones that I immediately remember are the ones that I care about. But, yeah, we've got a lot of heroes up. We've got the Infinity System up and running as well. So you can see we've got all sorts of cool stuff. We've got the Infinity System with all the different gems and jewels. We'll go over all that. For now, though, let's talk a little bit about Nightcrawler. Hey, look, it's Eag. Holla at you, Eag, and Herc is here, too. So, the way that the power trees and everything works now is completely different from what it was before. Now, instead of having PowerPoint distribution amongst all of these bad boys over here, instead, you just unlock the abilities. So just like when you start playing as a character, you can use their basic powers, or at least some of the basic powers. Yes, Bob Testa, we are on TC. You can use any of the powers, and we don't have PowerPoint allocations to increase their effectiveness. Instead, we're going with this talents and traits thing. So all of the power trees are going to get condensed. We're losing a lot of passive abilities because essentially we're doing a lot of specializations is what it boils down to. So you can see here, every hero is going to have traits up at the top, and these are sort of... These are sort of where a lot of the passive damage and everything went to. But you can see here, Nightcrawler has On Guard, and then he has the Incredible Nightcrawler. So we're looking at, which is kind of interesting, because for the Incredible Nightcrawler, it doesn't make sense that he's able to dodge when it has no dodge capabilities. But the idea being that you can select these and you can pick whichever ones that you want to take from each individual level here. So, and the whole point is that we want to be able to cater the playstyle to whatever you as a player wants. And then you see down here the sprint power in Nightcrawler's case is the travel power. So let's see if the hotkey works. The hotkey finally works. So the hotkey is R in order to use your travel power. The thing is that now it has a 1 second channel time. You can't just immediately bolt off. That's part of the movement changes as well. So you can see with the movement changes, right now we got BAMF, right? So it now removes crowd control effects, and it also gives you invulnerability as well. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting. So let's just go down here and just take a look at some of the stuff that we've got. Let's see here. So Flourish, obviously that's one of our fancy tags that we've got. I'm guessing that they're more swords-ish. So there, see, Run Through is Flourish. Saber Storm is Flourish. Okay. And then Death Blow is Flourish. Okay, cool. All right, so essentially, that allows you to use more blade attacks. The surprise attack Okay, you get more damage when you do the Bamf Bomb. Or Rough Ride, which is with the Flash and Grab. So it increases damage and stun. And then Ausweichen, sorry. Let's see, Righteous Frenzy, so increased dodge. Okay. So effectively, the idea is that these are sort of replacing a lot of the passive powers that we have. And so you can see with Nightcrawler, we're getting sort of like the teleport attack powers, we're getting the blade attack powers, and then we're getting the stealth attack powers as sort of the three main ones. So you can see there's three items in his case where we've got reflexive parry, we've got element of surprise, and flashing steel that all involve these flourish powers. So those are for the steel, right? Oh, Blink Strike transforms into Infernal Brimstone. Yay! So Infernal Brimstone, for those of you who don't remember, is Nightcrawler's big AoE effect that he has. And then we've got Crimson Sabers, which gives you DOTs, which is always awesome. So let's see what else we got. Let's see, bonus effect. And you gain concealment, so that's the stealthy one. Reduces the cooldown of Brimstone Blitz, so again, that's your attack teleporting powers. Oh, and look at that! You get Spirit and Health Regen. That's pretty sweet with Brimstone Blitz. And incidentally, the where is it? There it is. So the Brimstone Blitz is his signature power. This used to be his ult, but now it is his sig. So for those of you who don't remember, Nightcrawler was one of the few heroes that we've been waiting for the 52 review on, but we never got it. So now we've got a new ultimate with the Reign of Bamf, and then and Brimstone Blitz has been degraded down to the signature. So Righteous Frenzy is what used to be his signature, and that's the charged power that gives you additional damage. Or it did. Now it looks like it doesn't. Let's see what else we got. You get additional power when you do a teleport. Ooh, combo points. Nice. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay. I like that. So the idea with like the crescendo of steel and then the saber blitz is that you're sort of combining both the teleporting and the brandishing of the blades together. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Rev. Thank you, Rev. Yes, the update, not the 52 review. That's right. That's right. Because yes, thank you so much. So Rev has a point that Nightcrawler, I believe it was actually the first one or one of the first ones who was released after the 52 review thing became a thing. So you got his ultimate at 52, but he has desperately needed an update, and this is essentially Nightcrawler's update. So again, the way that the power system works now, when you reach a specific level, then everything will be unlocked. So here, let's go and I'll give you guys an example here. Oh god, these travel powers are going to take some getting used to. So one of the issues is that travel powers now all go at the exact same speed. So the whole point is that as a teleporter, Nightcrawler can't get ahead of everybody else. So whereas normally you could literally teleport across the entire screen, no, can't do that anymore. Oh, this is going to be tough. This is, I don't know how I feel about this. I guess it's going to be a matter of using his other teleport abilities, essentially. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to go ahead and prestige him so that you guys can see how that aspect works real quick. You know what, Jiggercha? You hush. Nobody asked you. Yeah, so now that I've tried it, I'm kind of like, ah. Oh, that's rough. That's so the way that the travel powers work now is they all have charges. It recharges every 4 seconds. You are invulnerable during the time, but guy, you can't move anywhere. Seriously, you can't freaking move anywhere. Oh, man, that is... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see. The song isn't enough to make it better. Okay, well, so... Yeah, this is not overly pleasant. Look at all my G, you guys! I can get the pumpkin costume! It's the only way I'll be able to. That's actually the other thing. We got new dev blogs today as well. So we got the difficulty slider, which includes a change from the Riff Sif system. So instead we now have, I believe it's Biff, if I'm not mistaken. It's like bonus item find or something like that. So yeah. I mean, well, so... And it's interesting because I remember the devs were specifically talking about Nightcrawler in terms of this because they were saying Nightcrawler should feel like Nightcrawler. And the fact is, yes, he should! Nightcrawler should feel like freaking Nightcrawler! That is kind of the point. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Mind points. Woo! So that's the signature that used to be the what's it called? So see, he still has other teleport powers, which is good, but I don't know. I don't know. So, I liked it when I read about it, but trying it out, this movement thing, I honestly don't know about. I really don't. Let me go ahead and get my gear back. So, that's one thing also is that... Now, it's funny because I did a massive redo of all of my... like, what's it called? Shoot, now I can't remember what I was going to say. I did a complete clean out of my stash over the weekend. I was so excited I was going to surprise you guys with it because y'all saying that I never do nothing. But yeah, no.
Naomi has to activate it.
Ugh.
So, now it's your turn to participate in our submit a
Let me
song
see here.
series. Step 1, subscribe to our channel.
Where's the rest of my
Step 3,
stuff?
comment below with a song topic. You skipped step 2. Step
Soul Point?
download this song
Music. Seriously, is this mine? I assume that's mine.
Authentic squirrel noises with your mouth.
And I got a new costume. Yay!
How do you do that? It's all on the neck right here.
Where did my stuff go? What the fudge? This is weird. Because I know that I was fully equipped as Nightcrawler. It doesn't matter. Why do I even care? Either way, point being that now, instead of having pluses to powers, you notice that we've got pluses to attributes instead. So you see we've got fighting and speed. We've got, well, in that case, it's just my challenge bonus for fighting. There's speed and fighting, and then there's strength. So that's one of the other big changes. Now, obviously, I can't go into extreme detail on this, but essentially, on the big giant update information session thing that the devs posted, they list all of the artifacts that got changed, all of the uniques that got changed, everything. God, I don't know about this. The problem is that you're unlocking these teleporting powers so late. Ugh. Let's see what else. I want Infernal Brimstone because I prefer that. So see, this is the problem because Blink Strike is nice because it gives you a little bit of a teleport as opposed to the AoE. But even so, it's cool. It's interesting. And you're talking about being able to play the same way as we could before where you activate Infernal Brimstone and then you use the flash and grab to pull all the bad guys towards you. And obviously in that case, you would want to take this bad boy here. Although it massively increases the cooldown. But either way. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. I mean, we still have the run. Again, it does do the what's it called? It does take a while to activate. And the thing is, all travel powers, like I said, are now a set speed. I want to say it's like 700, something like that, because there were some that were 1,000. So now everything is set to 700 maximum. So everybody's going to feel a lot slower. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. What the fudge, bro? I can defeat the first Goomba. I know how to jump. I would not die at the first Goomba. The first turtle, maybe. But that Goomba, bam, I'm on top of it. Literally, because that's how you take out the Goombas. You gotta jump on them. Okay. Suffice to say, this is what we're talking about, is that... oh, nice. Is that we've got sort of the synergizing capabilities of everything. Ooh, 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 ooh. And this is fun, too. So, now, the way that... so we're waiting on this change. We're waiting on a change for the medkits, where we no longer actually have medkits, and instead it's just a regular power. Incidentally, I want to see the new ult. That's just Deadpool without the tornado. I'm just saying. This is Deadpool without the tornado. Y'all are terrible people. Okay, I'm going to switch out to somebody else. Let me think. So I know Cable was on the list as well. Incidentally, if you guys want, take a look at the forums and look at what everything is and see if there's anybody you'd like to see particularly. Scimitar Slam! Okay. So I know somebody already, about Cable, somebody already posted the whole, oh my god, this is so terrible, I'm going to quit thing specifically for Cable because of the techno-organic virus. And the reason they posted it was because you no longer have the level 1 sort of reboot thing where when you die then you come back at full health thing. However, we do still have the power. It's just not as good as it was before. So we've got the 2 traits where it's like all this super fancy awesome stuff here. And let's see what we got. Scimitar, and then the psychic powers, and then the psychic haze. So again, I mean, we've got a tremendous number of powers to pick from, and the talents are just going to allow us to sort of go with what we want. So let's say, for my purposes, I want to go Scimitar, because I love the Scimitar personally. So anything that says, let's see here. That's actually pretty cool. I might go with that. Kinetic repulsion, that's not bad. To Major Tom. Let's see. Where are all the mastery ones? Or is that... Ah, there we go. Okay. So we got that, and then let's see what else we got. Illusion don't want. Scimitar Thrust! Sorry. Scimitar Expert. Nice. So again, essentially the whole point with this is that we're able to focus on a specific aspect of the character. And in my case, I just really enjoy the Scimitar. So I'm totes going to use it. Like, for realsies. So let's see here. Scimitar Sweep, yes. Scimitar Slam. Oh no, we'll keep that there. Swift Lunge. Who was that? Somebody did a thing. XX86 numbers. I didn't see exactly what it was. Thank you for the follow. Incidentally, I made 400 followers the other week. Yay! Woo! Ooh, 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 ooh. Very exciting stuff. Okay. Scimitar Slice. So we still have the whole thing with like the basic and the melee and all that kind of stuff, as far as like spirit spending abilities and all that kind of stuff. So that's not changing. Again, the things that are changing, the big things, is we've got the talent trees instead. And the teleporting. I mean, Cable was never really a big movement power type of guy. But even so... It's gonna take a lot of getting used to not like consistently and constantly be using the travel. And the thing is, that's the entire point. That's why they're doing it. They don't want people to have that crutch. But at the same time, good lord, it is a huge change, especially with everything else that's going on with the changes right now. Like, that's I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. So you can see most of the things that I picked just massively increase damage, but they also increase the cooldown time so that we can get some cooler stuff, essentially, is what it boils down to. And again, for me personally, I like to play Cable as a Scimitar. You can play him as like the more the gun guy. You can play him as the psychic guy, and the whole point is that each individual tree, or each stage has an ability within the tree that will allow you to pick whatever it is that you would like. So I think in that aspect it's a good change. Again, I'm not going to go into like super crazy detail of every single hero and what everything has changed, but at the same time, let me see here. I just want to take a look and see who got the changes so I can see who else is here. So again, like medallions, rings, unique items, all sorts of stuff has massively changed. And I'm sure that lots of people are flipping out over the movement power changes because, I mean, Jesus Christ, right? Let's see, who else got it? Okay, let me rephrase that. Who else that I like got it? Iron Fist! Sweet! Perfect! I was hoping that he got it. I honestly didn't remember. Incidentally, a lot of them, a surprising number, I should say, did get the changes. Okay, come on. Alright, so once again, everybody gets the specific traits that they have, and these are effectively replacing the passive abilities. So you can see here we've got, and they even have the same names by and large. Let's see. Okay. So I'm curious about Iron Fist particularly because of how he works, right? Because he's got like the really weird fighting stance dancing based thing. And previously we had the specializations where you could specialize in a single stance, you could specialize in two stances, or you could specialize in doing multiple stances, more than that. Let's see, passive effects of the openers. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So we've got a thing where you get better effects for the openers, you get better damage, or you can just switch your openers more frequently. So it triggers a Chi Blast. Nice. I do love Fury of the Five Forces. Okay. So stance combos do more damage if you're using the stance combo specific for the stance you're in. In this case, so for example, with Seven Armies Sundered, if you're in either Leopard or Dragon, it does more damage. That's what it's referring to. Same thing with Fury of the 500 Fists. If you're in Tiger or Leopard, it does more damage. So that's what the follow-through is. Blended Styles. Oh, sweet! Both effects remain. Thunder. Nice. Okay, so that's where if you want to focus on a single stance, then you can stack up more and more damage. Okay. Okay, sweet. So this is the one that allows you to do more stances. Holy crap! That's insane! Wow. So these are his finishers, right? So there's Fury of the 500 Fists. There's the Good Fortune Thunder Kick. Where'd that go? There it is, the Good Fortune Thunder Kick. And then the Fury of the Five Forces. So those are his, like, really big damagers, essentially. Hey, look, it's the Matter. Holla at ya. Great to have you. All right. Let's see, what else we got? I don't know about you guys, but that looks like a Wi-Fi signal to me. Iron Fist gets Wi-Fi now. Stance combo triggers a chi burst. Okay. Flow like river. Interesting. Interesting. Surge. Wow. Okay, so meditation is like his healing ability that he has. Where'd it go? Is this one it? No. So he's got one where he literally just sort of stands there and he heals. This is the one right here. So he does the thing where he goes like this. And he literally just stands there and focuses his chi into a healing ability. So let's see here. I want to do a little bit of stance dancing here. I like to do the two stances. I prefer leopard and snake personally. So let's see. What do we want? Stance combo. What's the one for the snake? There it is. The Chi Blast. Whoops. Okay. So we got that one. Blended styles so that we can keep them. Always good. Wait, there it is. There's the poison touch. That's what we wanted. Okay. Chi Surge. Nice. So this is just effects meditation. So see, now it's balance of chi. Alright. So I'll show you guys how some of this stuff works. So for those of you who haven't played as Iron Fist, you use a stance opener and it grants you your chi. And then from there you can utilize it for a whole bunch of different things. So this is the leopard stance in this case. And the way I have it set is when we use these things that are associated specifically with individual stances, they do more damage. Pow, pow, pow. So this is the snake one, and now we're back to leopard, and we can do the Seven Armies Sundered. So effectively, the way that I built him now, the way that I've got him, is as a two-stance dancer, and you're able to keep more passive abilities. You're able to do more damage in a shorter amount of time because of it. You've got shorter cooldowns so that you can dance more efficiently, and you can use your chi a lot more as well. You could also do it so that you focus on a single stance. You could do this one where you've got either the heavier opener power or passive abilities, and then you can up to a chi blast. And then rolling thunder is going to be the biggest one if you want to stick to a single stance. So if you want to just do crane or just do leopard or whatever it is, then you would want to go with rolling thunder. But either way, essentially his talents and traits are about balancing his stance dancing and how quickly you do it, how frequently, well, those would mean the same thing, but how frequently you do it, and then how effective it is as well. So let's see. American elections. Yeah, we're not touching American elections today. Right now, we're just focusing on some Marvel Heroes fun times. Let's see. Ooh, just for Rev. Just because I love Rev, we are going to switch over to Blade, because Blade got his talents updated as well. Oh, good. Carnage is here to save the day. So once again, our passive abilities have changed into these three traits, where we get our Thirst in this case, and then all of our Blarga, Blarga, Blarga. Our travel ability does work and is keyed to R as the default to make it work. Again, it does have the 1 second charge. We do have the limited number of travel powers that we can use, so we got to learn to balance that, etc., etc. So let's see what kind of stuff we've got here. Thirst never increases. Yes. God, I hate Blade so much. I hate him so much. I hate him. So, no, Bob Testa, not everybody is up. I believe it's 25 or 27. It's one of those numbers, somewhere around there. They announced specifically how many there are. But no, not everybody. Most notably missing is Rocket Raccoon. I would like to mention he is not on the list. But yeah, so that's what, on the forums, they have the list of all the different heroes that are up. Okay, so in control, so you never use Thirst. For those of you who aren't aware of Blade, and I barely am because he's terrible, Thirst increases. It's this secondary resource here. And as Thirst increases, your damage increases. But then when it gets too high, it starts to actively damage you, essentially. Let's see here. So the serum is the thing that stops you from starving, which is that thing. Captain Puerto Rico is missing. Yeah, and that's why I said, if you guys have a specific hero you want me to look at, so that you can see what their changes are, feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to take a look. Psychoactive Pheromones, so that's the for the Gauntlet, so that's one of his weapon attacks. So for basic powers, okay, so that, I mean, he's got, does he have a gun basic? I know he's got the sword basic. I don't know if he has a gun basic, though. I don't believe he does. Oh, there we go, hand cannon. Okay. My namesake. God, I hate you, Blade, so much. You were just the worst. So, yeah. We're talking about Blade damagings, we're talking about gun damaging, and we're talking about, I mean, this just affects my namesake, the signature power. So it seems like that's a common element with a lot of these heroes, where you get one of the rows will be specific for the signature power, whatever that happens to be. Stake through the heart becomes a melee attack, okay. Alright, Stake Thrower gets more damage. Hypertonic. Okay, so that's difference between melee and ranged attacks. 2 additional times for more damage. Fearsome Arsenal. Okay. Okay, so it seems like for him, and what I imagine several other heroes are going to be, is going to be balancing between the melee and the ranged idea. So the biggest thing, again, with Blade is the Thirst aspect. And because it does allow him to do more damage, but at the same time, he's just terrible. So the Thirst will, or lack of Thirst, will allow you to just keep on playing him and playing him. Okay, Venom. We can take a look at Venom. What was I going to look at? I was going to look at something else. Okay, so once again, we do have our travel power. And so let's see if they fix the doors. They have not quite fixed the doors. I mean, they sort of did-ish. And again, we're out of travel ability! 4-second cooldown. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. For Venom, I'm going to go... Actually, I got another Gourd of Prestige. I'm sorry. So I've got a Gourd of Prestige. So essentially what I want to see is how these things progress a little bit better. Like when you unlock those individual aspects of the talent trees. So let's go ahead and prestige him. You must be in a hub! Really? Really? Fine. I'm going back. So, I mean, come on. Seriously. Thirstly. Okay. Here, let's do this. Let's go ahead and buy... So who wants a level 60 experience orb? Anybody? Please wait. I don't want to wait anymore. I've waited for 15 years. Okay. Yeah. I'm going back to the raft. I know. So the mission tracker has been updated as well. You can say what filters you want on it. So that's kind of cool. That's pretty nifty. It's actually very, very helpful. I like it. Alright. Yeah, this travel thing, I imagine that alone is going to cause a lot of people to leave. But again, one very important thing to note, this is just test center. None of this stuff is finalized. This is just, you know, initially, maybe possibly this is what's going to happen type of thing. So don't worry about it. Okay. So let's see. I mean, Really? Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, interesting. So it looks like the way that they're doing it now is that you unlock all of the powers to level 30, and then you start unlocking the talent trees. Okay, I kind of like that. I think that's pretty cool. And you get your travel at level 10. So again, travel speed is 1,000 for the actual travel powers, or yeah, for the travel speed powers, and then for the basic movement abilities, it's capped at 700. And again, we're stuck with charges. So, meh. But yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to do the progression. So you mess around with all the powers, and then you start to get the talents to modify them. Okay, so let's see how they changed Venom. Why am I getting all these vendor summons? And all of these motion detectors. Okay. Irregardlessly. So let's take a look at what we got here. We are consuming parasitic tendrils, gets additional damage. Okay. Unrelenting. Bonus damage from the surge. Bonus infect. Okay. Interesting. So again, changing a little bit of how you're doing damage. Ah, the deadly maw and the hungry maw. So this seems a little bit like with Blade, where it's the melee versus the ranged. It doesn't look like there's too much with regard to like Icar versus health though, which is kind of nice in a way, I guess. I mean, obviously he still has it, but there's not a lot that modifies it, at least not thus far. Let's see here. Oh, there you go, Icar cost reduction. And then Icar powers. Okay, there you go. So we do get it eventually. Okay, additional deflect, which is always nice to have. Additional health and extra damage when you're below health. Okay, cool. So yeah, it looks like a lot of the powers, a lot of the passives, and the specializations were sort of melded into these talent trees. Speaking of which, do we have... what's his face? We do not. I was hoping that Doctor Doom would be on this. We have Doctor Strange, but no Doctor Doom. So yeah, again, looks very similar to Blade in terms of switching between the melee and ranged. And like a lot of the heroes I've looked at, essentially what the talents are doing is you're swapping out new powers with old powers. So for example, with Nightcrawler, we had Blink Strike, and it got replaced with Infernal Brimstone when you selected the appropriate talent. So we've got a relatively smaller pool of powers to pick from, but a lot more ways of messing around with how they function. Okay, so that is the power system. We already discussed the movement system, which is a little bit depressing. At the very least, it's going to take a lot of getting used to. That is for certain. Next up on the chopping block is the Infinity System. So the Infinity System is the replacement for the Omega System. As you may be able to guess, the Infinity System is based off of the Infinity Stones: mind, power, reality, soul, space, and time. And the nice thing about these is that they've been modified for a couple of different things. First, they've been modified to increase attributes a lot more because, again, power points are worthless. Everything has been consolidated because the Omega System is ridiculously bloated and insanely bulky with a crazy number of nodes, and on top of that, everything has sort of a theme. So for example, obviously with mind, the theme is things related to psychic abilities and mental powers and things of that nature. So you see, straight up, you get additional intelligence. Now, one very important thing is that we have set points for each area. We don't have a collectively shared pool of points like we did with Omega. And on top of that, we have a much lower pool. So instead of having a total of 10,000, we now only have about 10% of that total to deal with. But either way, like I said, every single one has an attribute. So you see the Power Gem gives you the strength, the Reality gives you the energy, Soul gives you the fighting, Space gives you the durability, Time gives you the speed. Okay? So there you go. There's a 6. And then we get +2 whatever your primary resource is, +2 summoned health, and then we get regen, health regen, and additional efficiency with your spirit or whatever spending powers it happens to be. Okay, so that's mind. And again, this is mostly related to psionic and psychic, so mental damage and stuff like that, intelligence, which really is just summon stuff, because that's where most of the damage for that comes from. Power, we're talking about strength. It's funny because they mention deliberately durability when that's a completely different attribute. So signature powers, interesting. And then ultimate cooldown, very nice. Less damage with all attacks. That's very, very nice to have. I mean, just straight up survivability. And then there's our summon ally damage. Okay, very, very nice. Reality gem, again, the actual attribute is energy. And then we've got the damage against enemies not helping you or attacking you, which is kind of meh, in my opinion. I mean, same thing, kind of meh. Enemies that are attacking you. Crit chance, there you go, tilt the odds. That's the one that everyone wants. And then magic bullets and tilt the odds. Those are the ones that everyone's going to want from Reality Gem, pretty much. Soul Gem, again, is fighting. Everybody's going to want some fighting. Oh, there you go, into resilience. So, health on hit. Awesome. Freaking awesome, right? Base health. Strike true. So, brutal strike chance and then brutal damage, I assume. Okay, okay. Space Gem, durability. And then we've got defense rating, dodge, deflect, and area. Okay, cool. So Space Gem, you're talking about primarily the defensive capabilities. Hey, look, it's Retro Zero. Holla at you, Retro Zero. Great to have you. Time. So this is where the travel time aspect comes into play, because we can actually increase our travel time using the time gem. There you go. 0.5% move speed. Which means that we can increase it by 200%, so we move twice as fast, if you want to spend a ridiculous amount of points. Which, let's face it, we're not going to want to do that, but you can. Hey, dash and teleport power cooldown. Attack speed, very nice. And base damage with movement powers. Meh. Alright, speaking of which, let's see who all is here. Let's see, we got Bob Testa, Jiggerchaw, Rev, we've got Cheesebirds, Dwikey, Herc, Itchy-Hoo, Captain Hitman, Navajava, Nekax, Retro Zero, Shadowmod, Takeshi23, The Matter, and Tridine. Hello to all of you. I just went down the list. Alright, so that's the Infinity System. So you can see there's a couple of very, very important aspects to this. First off, significantly consolidated. We went down from something like 150 nodes down to, what, 30, I think it is? Yeah. Because we've got, so we've got 6 gems, each of them with 5 nodes. So yeah, 30, because math. So much more consolidated, much more transparent in terms of exactly what you're getting and how it's going to affect your hero. You don't have to worry about the prerequisites, which is awesome. That was always one of the biggest issues. Navajava, you're not famous. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're not famous just because I say your name. I say people's names all the time. All you got to do is say hello and I'll say your name. And see, you've just said that you're famous, and now I'm saying your name again, Navajava. Boom. But, yes, thank you. Good to have you here regardless. So, suffice it to say, these are all of our fancy Infinity System things here. I like it over Omega. I like the simplicity of it. I like the consolidated powers for it. I like the fact that we've got much more clear, like, attribute increases. Don't have to worry about all of the, what's it called? All of the prerequisites and stuff. I had to go and ruin. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And look, Tridine is all fancy with Twitch Prime. I thought you were going to say Dance Magic Dance. See, that's a way better song. I don't think Dance Monkey Dance is actually, or Money Dance is actually a song. Although I don't think Dance Monkey Dance is one either. Why am I leaving? I shouldn't be leaving. I wanted to get more XP bonuses. So, One thing I'll go over just briefly are some of the changes to artifacts. The problem is, like I said, I cleared out my stash, so I don't know exactly when they did the push. Who is that? It was Navajava! Thank you so much for the follow. Great to have you on the team. Okay. Let's see here. Incidentally, if anybody wants any of this stuff, I'll totally gift it to you. Just don't be mad when it doesn't work very well. I just want to see how quick we can get our infinity levels up. Because I believe it caps at 20. Or 200 on each. But again, one of the issues with the system is that you earn points individually. So you see I'm getting reality points. I'm getting power points, soul points, mind points. I am not getting points. So, significantly different in that sense. Let's see. Space points! And seeing as how one of them is power, I am getting power points still. So see, this is weird. I don't know if this was done on purpose or what, but this is very strange because I've only got 151 space, but then I've got 278 time. Again, I don't know if that was done purposefully or what. Incidentally, if you guys are curious, each of these level 60 XP orbs is actually enough experience to level from 1 to level 60 at a cosmic prestige. And I'm buying like 9 of them in order to fill up the entirety of my my omegas here. So, yeah. Wow. This is just, it's the weirdest progression of the power points, but suffice to say, this is what we got now, and God, that is, I mean, is it 1,000 for each? Because that's 6,000. And if it really is going to take that much, because right now the Infinity XP, good lord, 973 million XP to get a point in soul? No, thank you. I'm good. So yeah, that's a little bit ridiculous if you ask me personally. But suffice to say, that is the new Infinity system. Now we'll go over a little bit of some of the item changes. Again, there were a ridiculous number of them, so it's kind of tough to go over absolutely all of them. Let's see. Okay, so they didn't do the push, so that's good, because that means that all my junk is still here. Let's see. Yes, so Tridine, you're absolutely right. That's, and again, I remember on the, I don't know if it was the dev blog or the announcement for the test center or what, but the devs, I assume it was Astros. It may have been Michael Mayhem. Weak sleep to me. He specifically said that Nightcrawler should feel like Nightcrawler. You should feel like you have that teleport ability, and to an extent you do, but not nearly as much. So the problem with like Blink Strike and Flash and Grab and stuff like that is that, yes, they're teleport powers, but the problem is they don't actually move you anywhere, because you teleport somewhere and then you come back to wherever you started from. So that, again, that's very specifically for Nightcrawler, but even so, it's a potential issue that a lot of people are probably going to have. So looking at items, one of the big changes is to artifacts and any hero uniques, because let's face it, a lot of them kind of suck. I mean, you know, just being honest, right? A lot of them are just simply terrible. So a great example is like some of this random stuff here. I'm trying to remember what some of the changes were. Okay, there we go. So you see, Advanced Medicine 3 Array got some update. where you get some fancy weakening ability when you use a med kit. And essentially the idea is that we're just trying to bring everything up to sort of a basal level. This is something that Rev and I were discussing about a month ago, where one of the issues with a game like this is you're doing all these amazing, awesome updates and adding all this great new content, but then the problem is that all of the other content becomes completely obsolete. So at some point we have to have these massive giant updates so that we can bring everything else up to the level that all of the new stuff is at. For those of you who haven't seen, it's been a pretty big issue. So there, see, Advanced Amulet of Agamotto now gives you +2 intelligence. Lizard's formula was never that bad. But the Crimson Crystal of Sidorak now gives you strength. So, Ziggurat. I got lots of Ziggurats. So, yeah. The Ziggurat, as of right now, still has the same ability, which, for those of you who don't know, grants you teleport power. So, let's see exactly how it works with Venom here. So it's got a half-second cooldown, but it is a true teleport as of right now. Again, that's probably going to change. Probably going to change. I believe that they mentioned the Ziggurat specifically in that context, where they said for now it's working the same, but they're going to change it. Suffice to say, a lot of the alterations with regard to what's it called? With regard to dang it! See, now I completely lost my train of thought, you guys. I'm sorry. Where did all my gear go for Venom? Because I just prestiged him, but I had gear. Doesn't matter. So we're focusing a lot more on attributes rather than on... so War Machine is another new changed hero. Focusing on attributes rather than like strictly on damage and stuff like that. So for example, I mean, that's a bad option, but you see here we get suit power, which is the primary resource, and then we get plus to energy as opposed to strictly looking at additions to damage and things like that. Same thing for rings, where all of the rings are getting revamped as well for the exact same reason. Okay. And then a lot of the artifacts are going through the same thing. So we're talking about huge, giant, crazy, massive changes here, you guys. It's absolutely insane. Like, holy free holies. This is impressive. We've also got updates to the story. I'm not going to go into that. Let's see. Artifact changes. We'll just go into a few of them. So, yeah. Again, the idea behind the artifact changes is to better fit with the talent aspect, particularly because most of the artifacts are going to be for leveling, so they're going to help a lot more with that process by giving better damage, better defense, whether it's deflect or dodge or deflect. I already said deflect. Defense, dodge, deflect. We're talking about increases to attributes instead of increases to powers, because obviously since we have no power points, it's not going to help. All that kind of stuff. So you can see here with the Lion's Vest, we get +2 intelligence and fighting. And look, we get shinies. Because why not? Let's see. With Cobra's Hood, we get intelligence and durability. Blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, in the end, this is an enormous update, you guys. I literally cannot go through the entirety and every single change that they made, but the fact is that they made a lot of changes, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But at the same time, we're talking about a lot of big things. So what I'll do is I'll take a look at one more hero, because there's one more person I want to take a look at. Well, person, quote unquote. We're going to take a look at Ultron. Mostly because he's a character I really, really enjoy, and he is a summoner. So I'm very curious as to how they took his summoning abilities and translated it into the talents and traits. So let's see here. We got bandwidth. Okay, we got the shield again. All of our fancy trait abilities that are always there. So we got the range combat drone. We've got the close combat. Okay, so there we still have our drones. So let's see what we got. Operation Crush. Okay. Hey, look at that! Improved survivability. So you get the you get that end boost. All right, and there are the drones. Very nice. Okay. Encephalo Beam and the Annihilate. Operation Smash, Operation Annihilate, Irradiate. Okay. Right. Okay. So it looks like it's essentially focusing on the AOE ranged versus melee, and then also simultaneously looking at the summoning aspect. So yeah, you know, the Operation Swarm is the fun thing where you use the drones to attack everybody. Concussion Blasters, Operation Irradiate. So you weaken everybody. Okay. Nice. Awesome. So you improve that. And again, we've got bandwidth reservations here. Okay, there we go. That's nice. Range combat drone becomes detonation drone. Nice. Cool. I mean, it's interesting. I worry about the fact that everything uses bandwidth, though, because that was always one of the biggest issues with him. Oh, looks like that the drones don't take bandwidth anymore. Okay, perfect. Awesome, 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 awesome. Very nice. Testing. I can't test all the centers, Jukercha. I don't have time, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong. I would love to test all the centers, but unfortunately, we just need to look at a subset of the centers. And again, Ultron's going to be the last character that I take a look at. So you guys know, when I play Ultron, I play as a summoner. So I'm going to get all of the fancy summoner things that we can here. Let's see here. Okay, that one's good. And sacrificial offerings, obviously. We need those Destructo ones, because that's just hilarious. Operation Swarm. And then... okay. Alright. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's do... where is my Operation Swarm? There we go. Wasn't that the one I picked? Oh, if you use Operation Annihilate. Can never remember which one's which. There we go. Nice. Very cool. It is unfortunate that the drones go away, though. So not having the permanent ones kind of sucks. But at the same time, I kind of like having the Destructo ones available. That's nice. Fine, I can't activate a talent while in combat, so I'll leave combat. There we go. I had to get rid of the other one first. There we go. Nice. Operation Swarm in action. Let's get close combat. Okay, so it's still limited with that. When it's over, that's the time I fall in love again. And when in a Tootsie Roll Pop. I agree with Tridine in terms of the most important center being the Tootsie Roll Pop. And yes, so Navajava, that is the plan for medkits. It was heavily hinted at by Azros, God, 3 months ago or something like that. At this point, so yeah, it's definitely coming where they're going to swap out the medkits because there literally is no point to having it. I mean, we can go to the vendor and we can buy 2,000. We can't, not at that one. We need the other vendor. I don't know if there's one down here. But if you go to the gear vendor, then you can buy 200 medkits for like 2,000 credits. It's like, what? That's 2 legendary quests. That's nothing. It's nothing. But yeah, so that is the plan as of right now. So you can see here, we've got our flight power or whatever your travel power is, and then we've got the medkit. So to me, this says that they are getting ready to implement exactly that, where the key is just going to be, it's just going to be M to use the medkit, and we'll be able to have it and be happy, well, and good, and use it as much as we need to. But no, it is not converted because you see we still have it here. Although, no, I guess it's not spending them. So I have medkits, but hey, there you go. It even says this kit is no longer required to use your medkit. Expired medkit! No, get it out! There you go. There, see, so it has done. Yay! They already did it and I didn't even realize it. Huzzah! So yeah. The medkit is now officially a steady standard power. And for some reason the cooldown is 9.8 seconds because I don't know. But either way, like I said, I think that's going to be it for me because I have to go and I have to eat now. But thank you guys so very much for being here on the Marvel Heroes Test Center. Again, keep in mind that this is just a first glance, right? None of this is finalized. None of this is set in stone. We'll see how the changes come over the next couple of weeks. But hopefully, actually, we should get all of these out before the end of, like, November. Maybe, like, early December. So if you noticed, we do have the Avengers Tower set up for the holidays already. I'm going to check out Midtown Manhattan as well real quick to see if we've got snow. But you see, we've got all the holiday decorations up for Avengers Tower. So let's take a look at Midtown real quick. And it is snowing. Hey, look at that! It's a winter wonderland! So obviously to me this says that they're planning on doing the release before the holidays. Incidentally, we are also waiting on Beast to be released. Also known as probably the first and only hero that I ever Cosmic Prestige. So should be very, very fun. Very, very fun. Plans on a Wednesday stream. No, I will not be streaming on Wednesday because I now have a regular gig on Wednesdays. Thursday, maybe. I don't know, Jickercha. I honestly don't know. If you're not doing so already, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter because that's where I announce when I do my streams. For those of you who haven't seen it before, during my midweek streams, I play stuff other than Marvel Heroes. And it's pretty much a grab bag as to exactly what I'll be doing. You can give me suggestions for what it is, but like I said, as of right now, I'm not planning on one. I mean, if you guys really, really want, then feel free and let me know that you want me to. And then it's at least a lot more likely that I will. But even so, as of right now, Wednesdays will be out for the foreseeable future, but Thursdays will still be possibilities for midweek streams. And then, of course, I'll have my regular Saturday Marvel Heroes stream as well. Yes, regular gig on Wednesday. It's a new regular work thing. But that said, thank you guys so very much for being here. Hope that you enjoyed it. I know that by and large I am very, very excited to see all of these changes to Marvel Heroes. We'll see again how they evolve over the next couple of weeks. But until either Thursday or Saturday, just depending on how I feel on Thursday basically, I will see you at my next stream, and thank you very much for being here.